is the deity that lived here. He was the ram god, and his name was Khnum. According to the myth of this town, he was the creator. Especially during the Greco-Roman, there were foreign rulers ruling very well-established nation like Egypt. So they have confirmed and reconfirmed they are appreciating the Egyptian culture and are mimicking what your other kings did. And here I am holding the bunch of the enemies of the state, offering them the Egyptian. The rest of the temple is under the town. Representing an open bud or a closed one. For the first time, we see in an Egyptian temple composite capitals. Get closer, look at the details. I see palm trees, I see a cluster of dates, flowers. This is what we call Greco-Roman capital. So as soon as you walk in the temple, look at the capital. If it is composite, we know that it's Roman, it's an Egyptian. And the vulture always looking down at you walking in the temple. White vulture. So in the 14th day of the lunar month, this is the moon. And in the Egyptian's name, which is private baby, a beautiful baby, we say just like the moon in this 14th day, complete one. And always the eye, the all-seeing eye, is shown even in the moon to protect against any evil spirits. Egyptian pharaohs celebrated the first day of the flooding by visiting different temples, leading the rain to one and the other, carrying the sacred bowl at the effigy of the deity. During the Roman time, the Roman emperor, most of them never made it to Egypt physically. Egypt was ruled by a Roman prefect in the name of the Roman emperor who resided in Rome. So to show Roman emperors in Egypt in an Egyptian temple, they introduced a much more, is very Egyptian, is the residence of one of the Egyptian deities, but definitely they had to have their own features added to the temple. An Egyptian temple, if you had looked at the capital of the columns, they were very simple, representing an open bud or a closed bud. For the first time, you see in an Egyptian temple this bird with human hands. It's a big ram or the word instead of spelling the word Egyptian, this is the gold for the word Egyptian. In an Egyptian temple, you see this bird grazing and eating. So this is another subtle way of showing how unhappy they were to see the day comes to serve at foreign. Now,
today is December 22nd, 2025. We are in a small town called Esna, Egypt, upstream to Nile. So this is the mosque, right here, Muslim mosque. If you look over there, you can see Christian church, basically next to it. Interesting. And this is our ship, Viking, and that's another bank of the river Nile. We're gonna go upstream to the ASWAN dam. Today we're gonna sail. And this is how we relax on the ship after being on excursion to the local temple and going to the market too. Bought some local clothes for the Arabian night on the ship. Okay. See you later.
I don't remember another experience we had. I shouldn't be embarrassed, but oh no, that was.
Sailing to ASWAN on beautiful weather. December 22nd. sunset on the Nile.
Buggy
City
as the
called Edfu.
transportation to the temple. But some of these locals abused the animals, which made a lot of agents to boycott the horse and buggy method, bringing their own vehicle, including Viking. We used to use the horse and buggy till last year, but Viking got very negative feedback from the guests, so they decided to boycott the idea of the horse and buggy. So there is the temple on the left, built and dedicated to Horus the falcon. And here we notice that
One of the largest temples in Egypt.
And Horus, because according to the myth, a piece of the torn up Osiris was found here. Now, to brief the story of Isis and Osiris and Horus, they told us in the myth that Isis and Osiris had been married, and Osiris was a good man who taught the Egyptians a lot of things, including farming. But he had a jealous and take them off, leaving the text there, while the one on the right is totally intact. It's hard to know what happened. We're looking at something 2,000 years old. It's very hard, and we cannot keep saying it was the Egyptian creation. There is a giver, so he's a king, and he is one of the colonies. The recipient is the second figure from the left, and he has star, full name, apron, looks like a galabia. Yeah? This Osiris. And he's always shown like that, being first deceased, murdered. And then the other figure is the same economy, but he's offering a different thing. These are 2 jars of wine. The recipient is the female, and she is Isis. How did we know? Because if you look above her head, the sun disk has something carved on top of the sun disk. This something looks like a profile of a chair or a throne. This is how to write it in Egyptian. Whereas if you look behind you, it's identical, but there is no chair above her head.
7 columns, celebrations of a newborn, or 7 days.
This is ISIS. Walk in, please, because they want to get you away. You have to fight you in there.
You can see the last picture. You can see Isis. She carried the king as a baby
what I just said.
The Holy Mary to the King Baby give him energy from now.
Government store. No bargain here. Oh, that's chill. Egyptian jewelry.
And I see them once a year.
It's 5,450 and it's about $120. Razão nós usamos os
Yeah, they relocated it.
It's for somebody other than us. A friend. And these are how much?
Papyrus.
Transfer papyrus plant on paper, and I gave you a brief idea about papyrus. Then another piece of felt, and we press it under press for a week. And there is no pressing machine in ancient time. They use granite. Week under press, and it becomes sheet of paper. True minute, not Egyptian minute. And we have big section for Badush, start with one name up to 8 names for big family. How we take it by way